Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How are we all today? We are coming to you this week with a gig review.
Yes, sir.
Tuesday night, the Nordics took to the banks of the Liffey and invaded the senses of the Irish fans, Irish music fans,
Yeah, absolutely.
with an ensemble of strings in the Three Olympia Arena.
Yeah.
And that came in the form of your bogey word, Apocalyptica.
Apocalyptica. It took me a while to learn that.
You've got it now.
They turned the Three Olympia into the Great Hall of Valhalla for a couple of hours.
It was unreal.
It was class.
It was really, absolutely class.
It was a great evening. The whole thing was brilliant. Really, really good. We got up nice and early. We had I had a lovely pint of Guinness.
I had a very nice hot whiskey.
A wee mug of soup.
Oh, I did. And a lovely slice of brown bread.
You were getting over the flu.
I was. I'm not long over it. So apologies to our Patreon listeners and apologies to the rest of you guys. This should have been out Wednesday, but I was in a hoop.
Yeah, these things happen. But before we get into Apocalyptica, the Raven's Age.
Before we talk about the Raven's Age, we went up to Dublin and we got parked in our usual spot.
Yes.
That we won't divulge in case any of you people will be watching us. But we went into the banker. So we did. And you got a lovely pint of stout. I got a top class hot whiskey and a mug of soup and brown bread. And that was just a great start to the evening.
100%, yeah.
Now if you check out the Instagram page, we're stepping up our game with the reels. We're stepping up the social media game.
The reels are the way to go.
Between the pair of us. And you will see how we get on with the beverages and the 4-course meal.
Yeah. Well, never mind that crack. We were there for the music. So we got in, checked in nice and early. We got lovely...
You get a nice room. We checked in nice and
we got checked in, yeah, with our old mate, and we got in great. We were right up the very front, so we had a great viewing platform for the whole show. And
we did. It was great.
We got to chat to a few fans too. We went in for, I must say, the bar was class in the Olympia.
The bar was absolutely class. Yeah, you can't really fault the service or the space. Loads
of space, loads of room, lovely pints.
Yeah.
Lovely pints. And I have to say, like, you know, like the little things when you go to a gig, like toilets were grand,
clean,
no queuing for 20 minutes, quick pints, plenty of space, and no, you know the way some places you might get a bit of grumpy staff here and there. Everyone was cool.
Yeah, you're right. There was no
even we had a crack with
members.
The girls in the merchandise stand, and you know, everyone was just friendly, and it was great buzz for a Tuesday, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always something on in Dublin, and these great shows, especially in these smaller arenas too, I find, Luke, they're more, like, intimate, I think, you know, and there was big artists that played in the Olympia, the Three Olympia this year, who have now gone on to be playing in the bigger venues in Dublin too, like, so, like, some people might think, oh, I'll wait to catch them. Go to the smaller shows.
Yeah, go to the smaller show, because I guarantee you, if Apocalyptica sold out the Three Arena,
you wouldn't have the same feel.
You would not have the same feel.
No, 100%.
Similar to, did we discuss this a little off topic, but myself and yourself have seen Machine Head in the Three Arena.
Yeah.
Did they play in the Olympia before?
Yeah.
Like, imagine seeing them in the
Limp Bizkit played the Three Arena.
In the Olympia.
Olympia. Yeah. With the Kerrang tour. Imagine what that would have been like.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been nuts.
It would have been absolutely crazy. But before we go any further, we would like to give a big shout out to our friends in MCD who had us there at the gig to cover the gig. So without them, that wouldn't have been possible. Yeah. So a big thanks to them.
Thanks to the boys.
So don't be afraid to check out MCD to check out what gigs are coming up.
A lot of gigs coming
across their venues. And check out what's happening in the Three Olympia and in the Three Arena, and have a look at their website or their social media is really good.
Yeah, very
Their
good.
Instagram page is brilliant. It gives you a good view of what gigs are coming up. Yeah. So big thanks to our friends in MCD for that.
So the Ravens Age then, Luke, we were educated, I should say, in the bar.
We were.
We can hold our hands up and say we weren't too familiar with them.
No, we weren't.
And we found out, I actually found out during the day that they will be opening for Iron Maiden in the summer.
You were telling me this.
Yeah. So I seen it on social media. Someone had said, "Oh, I can't wait to check out the Ravens Age to get a feel for them when they're playing in Marley Park, isn't it?"
Malahide Castle.
Malahide Castle. Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, this could be good." And then we later on found that one of the members of the band is his father is Steve Harris.
Steve Harris, the bass player in Iron Maiden.
But I have to say, I was impressed.
Very impressed.
Very impressed. Now, the band consists of George Harris on rhythm, and I think he played lead on one or two.
He played a little bit of lead, I believe.
Matt Cox, you were saying, like, what did you think?
His right hand.
Yeah, with the bass.
Reminiscent of the right hand of James Hetfield, the right hand of God, as some people would say. But a phenomenal bass player. Brought serious intensity, and really, really tight rhythm player.
Very good.
Yeah, almost like that heaviness. Maybe he just couldn't unleash it the same, but like a bit of a Jason Newsted feel.
Yeah, he was into it too, wasn't he?
He was real into it. Great backing vocals as well.
Yeah.
Horrid solid bass player.
Very good.
And it's not like us to harp on about a bass player, but one of the best live bass players I've seen
in a while.
In that intimate setting, as you said, to stand 12 or 15 foot from the man on stage and say, "Jeez, yeah, that man's going for it."
Yeah, 100%.
Remind me of.
I thought the drummer Jay Patel.
He was brilliant.
Man, a double bass drum.
He was class.
There was a lot of different stuff throughout the night. I thought throughout their set, they played for about 45 minutes, I think, and a lot of their stuff. I know they have a new album out, Blood Omen, that came out last year, and in the Conspiracy in 2017. But Blood Omen, I found, Luke, I had to listen to it after the show because they intrigued me after the gig
to see what they were
like.
Yeah,
listen to more. Like, there's a lot of stuff, like me and you had said, watching them live, you know, you can feel a little bit of almost, say, I said 30 Seconds to Mars kind of mixed with Iron Maiden, mixed with, I even thought more so today that Killswitch Engage.
A band I wouldn't have listened to a whole pile, so I wouldn't be fit to.
There's like, that's what I said. That's what I wrote down. 30 Seconds to Mars and Iron Maiden had a love child.
Yeah.
But I've then listened to some more stuff with the band, and like, they are determined to stick to their guns and to be that little bit different.
Yes.
Because they were saying that there's so many bands that are just copying Iron Maiden, copying Metallica, not copying, but trying to be them.
But are trying to be them instead of being their own thing.
So the boys, and I give them credit, they are true to the words that they are trying to be authentic and putting their own twist on, like a new metal or a type of, I suppose it's hard rock, but I found there was trashy bits in it with the double bass and heavy riffs, and there was some headbanging, and then there was more. They were big on their rhythm, melodic kind of feel to it.
Yeah, there was a lot of melody going on. I had said to you at times the intros were brilliant, and the acoustics or the rhythm, and it sort of had a nice. There was a lovely space to it.
A lot of space.
There was a lot of space to it. Felt a certain way, would evoke a certain emotion, and then sort of climbed,
but
and
the
then
riffs,
all out.
Yeah, there was heavy riffs, like.
Oh yeah,
heavy riffs. Like that. The last song that they'd done, what is it called? I have it written down here. The Florida List. That was on the last album. That's heavy.
Yeah.
There's a good heavy riff to it.
Singer was brilliant too.
Yeah, MJ, Matt James, yeah. And then Tommy Gentry on lead. He was
very, very
But they were
good.
great. They put on a show, right? And we were fortunate enough to have a quick chat with the boys at the end of the show. Like, they're touring hard. 5 nights on.
Yeah.
You know, to get up there and they engage with the crowd. They tried. They got the thing going.
Yes.
And it's got to be hard, especially as a support band, you know, and being on the road 5 nights, it must get, you know, them boys are touring hard, but they're not new to it. I looked up, like,
2009.
They supported Anthrax in 2017.
Really?
They supported Killswitch Engage in 2018.
Now, the scary thing about all of that is, and I'm only starting to realise it now, but 2017 was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
2018 was 6 years ago. It's not like last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, like we've thought, or we fall into the...
Yeah, and they supported Gojira in the Academy in 2017.
7 years ago.
That would have been some show. Now, I believe they had a different singer at that time.
Okay.
MJ wasn't in at that time.
He wasn't in at that stage.
But yeah, I just some quick notes I wrote there, and I thought that theatrical at times.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Their intro music, the opening song on their new album is class. It's an interlude, it's an instrumental called Changing of the Guard. It's very... They walked on stage to it. It's pretty cool. And another thing I have to say, the artwork
was brilliant.
Class.
Yeah, it was top class.
Really
the red
good.
and the black and the darkness.
There was a lot of work went into
There was. I'd love to know who the graphic designer was, or who designed those.
Really, and the merch was class too. We got to look at some of the merch stuff. Really.
The merch was cool. Look, there's not a lot of really, really good merch coming from bands that aren't at the top level, but these guys had absolutely class merch. Class. So if you could check it out.
And as you said, the black and the red really works.
Yeah,
that red that they have is like a blood red is class.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Some of the set list
reminds you almost of like a video game, wouldn't it? You know, some of those really
it reminded me of something, alright. Yeah, it there was a lot of work went into it, and it's paid off because it's class. It would definitely catch your eye.
Yeah,
definitely. Parasite they played as well. It's more on the metal side, modern metal. I think there's an end. The last 20 seconds, it feels like the song is ending, and then it just goes into this drop.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, The Day the World Stood Still, I thought that was more of the softer end of stuff, almost like that 30 Seconds to Mars feel. The Grave of Fireflies, do you remember that?
Where everyone put the phones up.
Like,
it was good.
It was good. It was theatrical. I'd say that, like, it was cool in the Olympia, but I'd say, like, in Dublin next year, possibly. I don't know what way the lighting will be or that, but it's a very good song to play live.
Yeah,
for interactions.
I don't think that'll work for them next year, because in June it's going to be bright till about 10:30. But 10 o'clock.
And then that Florida List, that's from the previous album. Powerful drumming, man. It's head banging stuff.
Oh yeah, the double pedal stuff is fast too.
They have a nice mix, and I'd be looking forward to catching them next year, hopefully.
Another cool thing was when we did meet them after, they were all really sound.
Real sound.
Yeah.
Real sound.
And like, we're happy to chat.
Yeah. I'd say we could have went for a pint with them if we wanted.
Yeah,
he asked me where to go.
If we didn't have to go home.
Yeah, I'd say we could have sat, because they had the day off.
They did have the day off the next day. That was going to be a travel day, wasn't it?
They were going to Glasgow then.
Yeah. So they've been hard at it since.
I think they're back in the Midlands. I think they're in is it Birmingham? Maybe it's Nottingham they're in tonight or something like that.
Yeah, I saw a cool post they had up. They had a cardboard cutout of Lewis Capaldi for the Glasgow gig. It was like good of Lewis to...
So the boys played for I think about 45 minutes or 50 minutes or so, and then there was a break and we went, and I think we were talking to some fans there and just getting a feel of the gig and all that kind of crack. But I have to give a shout out to whoever the house DJ is.
He was class, wasn't he?
Audio Slave, Sepultura, Gojira, Alice in Chains.
He set the tone.
That man needs a wee clap, legend.
Yeah.
We were having a go around all the pictures and stuff for the Olympia and all the different bands that played before, and just kind of taking it all in. But then Apocalyptica at 8:58, I took note.
Was it 8:58?
Ecstasy of Gold came on.
Oh man, they made a very, what should I say, impactful entrance.
Yeah. Like
the Ecstasy of Gold hit, and then it was almost like thunder and lightning for a minute or two.
The light show, I have to say, for boys again that are, there's no day off. They played it in the Royal Albert Hall for 2 days.
Two nights before that.
Packed up, straight on the ferry, up to Dublin, set up the stage. Like, I know they're well used to it, but
yeah,
Jesus,
but still,
it's tough going. And the whole light, that lighting production, and the media behind them, and I'm sure we'll get into the other kind of stuff that came up, but I have to say I was very impressed. I'm going to try and pronounce the three boys' names: Edka, Petru, and Pavo.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah. And then we have to mention the Hulk on the drums.
Yes, he was unreal.
Very, very, and a lovely kid, big kid.
Yeah, big kid.
For a big man.
Big kid, big man. And picture a Bulgarian or Moldovan powerlifter wrestler.
Wouldn't have put him for a drummer.
No, just...
You said his forearms.
I don't think I've ever seen... His forearms are nearly bigger than my quads.
But you know what he looked like? He looked like a big friendly giant. He looked like he was...
They said that.
Yeah.
They said that on stage. He was one of the nicest lads that they've ever met.
He looked like he was just having fun.
Good player. Tasty player, yeah. Yeah.
Like he's playing Metallica stuff.
As I said to you, some of the arrangements I wouldn't be a fan of, but that's just me being a prick. Do you know, like...
What do you mean arrangements now?
The arrangements of the parts or their sections in the song,
or what they've picked and what they left out,
wouldn't be maybe true to
or
the rhythms. Do you know, it's not playing it note for note, and as I said, I am being harsh or picky, and I had to realise that it wasn't Metallica I was going to see. Yeah,
but that was one thing that I did read. Like, they did not want to just go like one.
Yes.
Is not one.
Yes.
They wanted to put their own twist on every song, which I like too.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Which was cool.
And it is hard because as big Metallica fans, you want to hear, but I've never witnessed anything like that the other night. Now, I've spoke about orchestra music. Now, that wasn't orchestra, it was cellos, but it was, strings, it was different. Unbelievably talented lads.
They were brilliant.
And I listened to some of their stuff today from their own
music, what they've written themselves.
Heavy.
Really?
Oh, heavy.
I must have a listen.
Heavy stuff. And singing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're singing in it.
Brilliant.
It's from like they have to date 4 million sales. The album that one of the guys that we interviewed, what album did he say it was? I forget which one it was, but I listened to it today and I was impressed. Very impressed. So they formed in 93.
Yeah, they're on the go 31 years.
Yeah, and seem to love it. And I think Edka, he's the boss man, and Petru is playing the lead, and Pavo's
the bass.
Yeah.
Pavo was some way.
So then, he was kind of in line with us. But you know what I loved was that they didn't just go up and play. They tried their damnedest to interact with the crowd.
Yes, they involved themselves.
It looked like they were having fun. It looked like this wasn't just another day at work, where I'm sure it can be to some of these boys who are like these boys. They've just toured Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all over that end.
They've done all the Middle East
already. They're doing Europe.
They're doing everywhere.
They're doing Europe. They're not just doing like Paris. They're doing France.
No, they seem to be doing
and
the whole
then
of
they're
France,
going
Portugal, Spain.
Then they're going to America.
Okay.
I think they've done South America already. Like they've done Mexico, like 20 shows in Mexico, Brazil, Argentina.
Oh man!
Oh, like they have.
So they're touring this.
They are road dogs.
Yeah.
They are.
They're out there living it. They're doing it.
So the new album, Apocalyptica, does Metallica Volume 2. I have. Well, let's just talk about the set list first. So they open with Ride the Lightning.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was different.
Definitely different.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of just like, whoa.
I can't believe how accurate the solos are. Like, to the point where I would be thinking, is that really happening, or is that a track?
Yeah, like a whammy pedal on a cello.
Yeah, a wah pedal on a cello.
Oh, sorry, a wah pedal. Like, obviously the cellos are jazzed up. Like, it almost looked like he had like a touchpad on it.
Yes,
where the
where
effects,
he was hitting it.
But I was watching his fingers, like he was moving.
Yeah, all up and down.
Yeah,
like seemed to just have precision.
And they've tweaked them that much. Like even that Pavo on the bass, like when the boy, like he might just be plucking just a little pluck.
Yeah,
and you can hear it coming through, and
it was heavy.
It was nice though. It was. And I was reading in other and other forums and stuff. Like people were saying, like people were blown away by it.
Really?
Yeah, like I've
mesmerised.
Seen people were saying it was the best show all year.
No way.
Like proper gig goers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
their favourite show to date this year.
This year, yeah. And these be people that I know that would have went to a lot of gigs. A lot of shows. So we had Ride into Sandman, which was cool. Lights again, into Creeping Death.
Yes.
For Whom the Bell Tolls. I thought that was nice.
It was cool.
Yeah. And it did. I noticed they did swap a couple of channels. It must be obviously different tuning or different effects and different stuff. And different, I'm not even sure what the word is. The band.
Oh, the bow.
The bow. There's different bows for different songs, and in the battery then.
Oh, it was class.
It was
because
brilliant.
they done the theatrical entrance and everything.
And you had mentioned, Luke, that you copped it, that they would have done a few small sections.
There was a couple of sections at, like, I think the end of Ride the Lightning, or I could be wrong saying which songs, but they done a bit out of Escape.
Yeah, you said that.
And then
Dyer's Eve, was it you said?
No, they done a bit out of what seemed to me to be the Unforgiven 3.
Right.
But I could be wrong saying that. And a bit out of Injustice for All.
Yeah, I did cop that one. Yeah.
Yeah. The
just a bit then,
yeah. And then there was one more. What did I say they done?
It was something, the thing that should not
Frayed
be.
Ends of Sanity.
Yeah. One of your favourites, So, on to Cthulhu then, we have to talk about. So, the boys in Apocalyptica got, after a rigmarole of paperwork and I'm sure a pain in the butt, they got to use Cliff Burton's bass track in their album.
From Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, and I thought it was a nice touch that they had talked a little bit about Cliff and the accident and how influential he was in Metallica. I actually seen a clip today about how James found. Did you ever see that clip about Cliff? How he influenced him into playing differently.
No.
And keys and different patterns and stuff. All about. He said, "I wouldn't have played one the way I did only for Cliff." That's kind of going off topic.
Yeah, that he taught them.
He taught them.
Kirk had said that before, that he had a great knowledge of theory.
The pick-offs and all that crack.
Yeah, pull-offs and difference.
Yeah.
But I know Kirk Hammett had talked about Cliff's, vast knowledge of music theory.
Yeah, big
and
thing.
He was brilliant at harmonising.
Yes.
So they talked about that in the early records, that Cliff had a huge part to play.
Yeah. But Apocalyptica really did. They get a nice touch to Cliff. I thought that was nice. And then they went into St. Anger.
Yeah, which was class.
See him playing the snare on the cello.
Yeah.
And he was kind of slapping slapping the cello.
He
and
was hitting it.
Yeah, the pop. I thought that was brilliant. One of my favourite of the night was the Four Horsemen.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
And originally Dave Lombardo plays the drums. And no, he doesn't.
Blackened.
That's Blackened.
Blackened was brilliant as well.
Was it the Four Horsemen that Rob plays on?
You were saying that on the album, yeah.
He plays on it. Like, so the Apocalyptica are friendly with the boys, the big dogs in Metallica. Like, and you know what was cool too, what the Edka spoke about was like the boys grew up idolising Metallica, and we had said too even, but Edka's dream was to perform with Hetfield.
Yes.
And he got to do it.
Yeah.
Must be some feeling.
It must have been something else, alright.
Yeah.
That if any of you would like to see that video, check it out. It's Apocalyptica doing one.
Yeah.
And James Hetfield accompanies them.
And they do a completely different version of one. And we'll get to one they finished with. So, Four Horsemen, yeah, one of my favourites of the night. Blackened was
It was brilliant.
very good.
It was really good.
Very-
Powerful.
Very good. And the big guy on the drums nailed it.
Oh yeah.
He nailed it. He did. Into puppets. And then I got the fucking chills, man. Nothing else matters.
It was really good.
And I know they don't play that every night.
You were saying that to
Yeah.
me, yeah. I wasn't familiar with their
Yeah.
set list. I was just happy to take a look. Or
I remember, and I said it to someone that in the bar, about how I remember the Slane Castle gig, and you remember on that tour they had Thank You, Norway, or
the
Thank You.
graphics, yeah.
And they had the video of Metallica landing in the helicopter and in Slane, and there was a footage of someone recording going through Slane, the fans coming to Slane, the Slane gig and all that. But he had Apocalyptica's Nothing Else Matters playing in the background. Man, it bring a tear to your eyes. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
It's absolutely
Funny, I don't really remember that.
absolutely beautiful piece. No, but never mind the video, but their version of that
Yes,
song
their version of it.
is brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
And it's very nice the way they sit down for some of those
And
slower ones.
I found they played the cello, I'm not going to say properly, but traditionally.
Yes, yeah, softer.
They played with I don't even know what the right words is.
But they pick it
Yeah, and the whatever that's
with
called.
the bow.
Yeah. Very good song, really, and you could hear a pin drop, and then the whole crowd in the Olympia was singing it back.
Yes, which was lovely.
And you could see the boys were getting the buzz off it.
They were enjoying it too.
Yeah, really good. Then into Seek. Seek and
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, class. And then they went off, and the encore then was one. And yeah, the lyrics and Hetfield speaking over them, and you just forget sometimes how.
Where was Sad But True in the set?
Oh, I might have missed it. Yeah.
They did play it, didn't they?
It was early, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. The lyrics to one is so Jesus.
Powerful.
Yeah.
When Hetfield read them as if there was a poem.
But you can imagine
Spoken word.
him writing that down, like, you know.
Yeah,
we're always used to hearing it on, you know, coming out fast.
I always think of that from the point of, you know, when you watch the music video and the guys in the beds.
That's
and obviously that's the point of view that it's from. But when we listen to it at the Apocalyptica show and Hetfield reads it as if it's spoken
poetry.
word, it's
Yeah.
poetry, you're like, oh, that's what it feels like, that guy laying in the bed.
Didn't one of our guests, one of the questions we asked, had a lyric that really what's the word I always resonates with you? Someone said some of the lyrics from one.
Yeah.
I think it was the guy from Shadows
Was it
Calling.
Darren? Yeah.
Darren. Like they're eerie,
Yeah.
you know. But the boys did a fantastic job. The video for one, Hetfield doing the spoken word, as you
And
said.
the lyrics were on the screen.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I think overall it was a very, very good gig. It was different. It was a fun night out in Dublin on a Tuesday.
It was, yeah, for sure.
Two good bands,
Yeah.
and probably one of the last things I'll say about the show is if they're coming to a city near you,
Be sure to catch them.
because they'll probably be coming someone close to you.
Yeah. And look, it's not every day you're going to get to see an orchestra play heavy metal music, or a string section
3 cellos, yeah.
play heavy metal music with the drummer.
Yeah, it's so
And-
authentic.
If you don't think you'd like it, it's a totally different experience.
Yeah.
You'll learn something from it.
And you know what I think is I think it'd be a good, say if your missus or your girlfriend's not into the heavier stuff, it'd be a good one to bring almost on a date night or something, because it's not very
Yeah, heavy hit.
Heavy,
Jeez,
you know.
I don't know about that.
I
now,
don't
but
know,
Maybe,
yeah.
I could be wrong.
yeah, I think it, like
Maybe
if you were
someone
sitting,
would get a good kick out of it.
if you were
Yeah,
sitting
if you
there-
were sitting now,
yeah, not
having a
standing,
few sarsaparillas,
yeah, but
enjoying an old glass of wine or
I
a beer.
really enjoyed the show, and again, I've never had a bad gig in the Three Olympia. I think it's a great wee venue.
Yeah, it is a brilliant venue. The sound's always good in it.
Sound was loud, but no, we were right beside the speaker.
But it's always good.
Yeah.
You know?
But as I said to you, Luke, before we come on, like, there's a different feel for the like of us going into the Olympia from the north side, whereas, say, if we were going to the Three Arena, you don't get that buzz of the city.
Yes.
We had to go into the city,
and then you
get
park
the,
up, you
get the
walk
feel, as
down.
you said, you go for your few pints, and
yeah, you can go for your feed after.
It's a different feel.
Yeah,
it's a different feel, and it's a good feel.
Yeah,
it really is. But yeah, I think that's a review of Apocalyptica. Again, thanks to our friends at MCD for looking after us, and hope to do another one shortly.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Yeah.
Well, thanks all for listening.
Thanks for listening.
We'll
Catch us next week. Soon.